On this episode of Cooking at the College, I'll be joined by Jason Willoughby, professor of business, and we're going to be making mac and cheese with Chef Erik. So join us then. Okay, we're ready to get started with another episode of Cooking at the College, and joined here by Jason Willoughby. I'm Jason Donner, you're Jason Willoughby.
It's going to be the best show ever.
That's okay, yeah. So you're a professor here, you're a program coordinator of business administration.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
A little bit about that is that I'm so honored to be here with you, Jason. Chef, so honored to be here.
Just call me Jason.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, Jason. Three Jasons.
For this show, you're Jason.
And I'm so glad to be here. I'm so honored to be teaching. I had a dream a long time ago as a child to be a teacher. And my dream started, Jason, back when we were PCC, Paducah Community College.
Yeah.
And so I always had that goal. I want to teach here, Now, it took me 45 years to get here. But I'm here and I'm here to stay, my friend.
Good. That's great. Yeah, I'm so glad that. So you went to PCC as a undergrad.
I did a couple of classes. I went to Lindsey Wilson College on a bowling scholarship. Now, if we would have had bowling at PCC, I would have been here, my friend.
Bowling scholarship.
Yeah.
All right.
Got my undergraduate at Lindsey Wilson in business administration. 2008, got my master's in business admin. And then now the reason why I'm losing all this hair is for my doctorate.
Oh, working on the doctorate.
I'm doing a doctorate in educational leadership with a specialization in educational technology.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And given all that, what food did you pick for us to cook today?
I cooked one of my favorites. My grandmother, when I was young, would always teach me how to cook. That's where I got a lot of my cooking skills when I was really young. Grandma would say, come on, Jason, come in the kitchen and
That's
stuff.
what grandmas are for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite dishes is mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Okay, you know, you work all day, you go home, and you want some Southern comfort food. Mac and cheese is it. So that's why I want Chef Erik, or Chef Erik/Jason, to teach us how to take that dish to the next level.
Right. Hard to go wrong with pasta and cheese, right? I mean, how can you go wrong?
Well,
Add a little tomato sauce and it's even better.
Well, yeah.
Then you got soft pizza, basically.
You know, it's, your classic, kind of Southern comfort food. Everybody's grandmother, cooks it. Like I said, it's a dish that we're all familiar with. And so you want to elevate this just a little bit. So thinking about this one, I'm thinking that we're going to make a mac and cheese, but we're not going to do the same technique. We're not going to boil the macaroni and then add to a cheese sauce. We're going to actually use what we call the risotto method. Making a risotto. You guys familiar with that dish with, rice, Italian rice?
Yeah.
But we're going to use that same method of cooking our pasta and then adding butter, cream, and cheese in at the very end. I'm thinking, flavoring that BLT style. So, we've got these beautiful heirloom tomatoes that I think I want to grill. Just to add a little bit of, balance, a little bit of smokiness to that. On the L part, I've got a little bit of arugula, which arugula is probably my favorite green in the world. It's got a really nice peppery flavor to it. I grow it all the time in my garden, especially when I harvest it in August. With that really full sun, it gets even pepperier. So that'll be kind of our L portion of it. And then my students from this past spring semester, we broke down a whole hog. And we kept the ham, and we have cured that for the last 90 days and turned it into a country ham. So
he's represented here.
Represented right here. Wow. So I've sliced it very thinly.
Yeah, you did.
And then we're just going to pop that into the oven. It's going to get really nice and crispy.
Yeah, fast,
just
right?
like bacon.
Yeah.
Right. So first thing that we want to do here, is we just want to season our tomatoes with just a little bit of salt.
It's nothing like a good homegrown tomato, is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know when you got a good one. You know when you see one that you like, this is going to be great. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
A little salt, a little pepper, and I'm just going to use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This is olive oil from the Mediterranean. Has a lot of flavor to it.
So how like it's going to make this macaroni and cheese very tomatoey tasting, or we're going to chop that up, or what's that's going to end up?
It's going to go
It's going to kind of
almost as a garnish. It's
Okay.
going to go these tomato slices right on the side of it.
okay.
It's almost like we're going to have a little bit of a salad with the macaroni and cheese right over the top
I gotcha. Okay.
of
All
it.
right.
So, yeah.
So
So what we're going to do, we're going to take that,
I think we're
Mr.
gonna,
Grill.
Yeah, we're going to come back from a break in a minute and get this sizzling, and then so we'll be right back and continue on with Jason's mac and cheese. All right, we're back now here with the chef and Jason. He's got the tomatoes. We're going to grill some tomatoes, right?
Yep. So first thing, I just want to make sure that, we don't, tomatoes don't stick to our grill. So I've just got a little spray right there.
Okay.
Nice.
Little fire.
That's fun.
Little fire never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
So we got our tomatoes right here, and we're just going to kind of lay them down.
Wow.
So this is going to make them turn out what? Like they're chewy? They're going to taste chewy? What are they going to taste like?
Not necessarily chewy.
They're going to get harder, right? Or no?
No, they're actually going to soften up quite a bit, but they are also going
They're losing some moisture though, too.
They are going to lose some moisture,
Yeah.
but we're also going to get some caramelization and a little flavor and color. We can just set that right there.
So it's kind of is it kind of like grilling a pepper,
Yeah,
basically?
exactly.
Yeah.
So Jason, I don't know how you feel about live fire and big flames like this.
Let's go for it.
But if you want, I've got, the spatula right there.
Okay.
And what we want to do, we want to put just some grill marks on those.
Okay.
So we're just going to kind of pick it up and then turn it about 45 degrees. Oh, same side.
Oh, same side. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So just turn them like this way.
Yeah. Just kind of get underneath. Yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
All right. You know, this is so cool, Chef. You want me to tell you why?
Set.
I am a Food Network junkie,
Ah.
and I watch Chopped in the kitchen, Chopped all the time, and I just love it. And there was I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there was a guy on Food Network. His name is Jason, and he was actually from Grayson,
What's going
Kentucky,
on?
and he was a cafeteria cook. And he went on the Food Network and actually won. He got his own shows, and his brand is Lord Honey. And he actually creates all Southern foods, and so another crazy story is that we actually look alike. He's bald. He's got the same beard look, and everybody called me one night, "Is that you on Food Network?" No, I wish.
Really? Yeah.
So I'm just so awesome to be here today.
Yeah. Well, you're on a cooking show at this moment.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It is fun.
It's ever upwards, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we could probably go ahead and flip those. Our grill is, hot enough that it won't take very long. So you can see, we've got those really nice kind of grill marks on there.
Yeah.
And what that does is give us a lot of, kind of char, a little bitterness flavor to balance everything out.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a dish that was just kind of blah, kind of bland,
That's when I start pulling out the spices, though. How do you feel about that? Is that like?
Well, you got to
Don't
use
get the
the right spices
Right.
at the right time.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. That's not adding anything here, but
we
just salt,
always
pepper.
want to balance our sweet, our sour, spicy, even bitter flavors, all kind of balanced together. As I tell my students, we cook three-dimensionally, rather than two-dimensionally. And that gives a lot more oomph to our dishes.
So what is the best ingredients to really bring out the flavor in tomatoes?
Salt and pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
On pepper.
Very, very kind of simple. But yeah, just salt and pepper ought to do just well. So that should be our, that timer is our ham.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and flip those tomatoes, I'll go ahead and grab our ham.
Yeah, we'll come back and take another break, and then he's going to get the ham out of the oven,
Yep.
and we'll be back to prepare the mac and cheese. All right, let's get back to this mac and cheese. Jason is taking the tomatoes off the grill, and we got Chef Erik here with the ham from the oven.
Yeah, sure. Ham came out
Looks great.
wonderfully crispy.
Yeah.
Really good color on those. I'm really happy with those. Tomatoes are fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
So what we're going to do next, we're just going to kind of set that off to the side for the time being, Jason, if you want to come on over here. So we're going to make this mac and cheese in the style of risotto. So that means that we're going to add a little bit of stock at a time for that liquid to be fully absorbed by the pasta. Okay. Normally risotto takes about 22 minutes to make, and this is about that time.
Yeah.
So right here I have a little bit of chicken stock for us. If you wanted to make this more vegetarian, then you could do a vegetable stock as well. But this is just a white stock. I want to keep it relatively light in color. So kind of a medium high heat, okay? And I'm gonna have a little bit of extra virgin olive oil here. Okay. So to flavor this, we're going to have some shallots. We're going to have some garlic. We're going to add a little bit of grainy mustard to that. We're going to deglaze with some brandy, and then add our then with our pasta in there that's going to fully cook. You're going to add about a ladleful of that stock in at a time. Stir until that liquid is absorbed, and then at the very end we'll add a little butter. We'll add a little cream to it, and I have two different types of cheeses. I have a sharp white cheddar and a Havarti. Okay, so the white cheddar will give us a really nice sharpness to it, and the Havarti will lend a little creaminess and balance that out a little bit more.
How critical is that? I mean, you always hear chefs talking about balance. Getting different flavors, kind of competing flavors, going together in the mouth, so you get like the total, I guess, production of food or what food's capable of, right?
Yeah.
Seems like that's a big deal, balancing those flavors.
Yes. So, when I was very young, I worked for a chef, and, he told me that, chef, in order to put out extraordinary food, you begin with simple ingredients. You prepare them simply, and you let those ingredients speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's always been my approach, my philosophy towards cooking. Really understanding, these ingredients and allowing them to speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at before. You're not really adding like a lot of kind of artificial spices and flavors. You're just bringing it out of the natural food. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. All right. So Jason, our oil is up to temperature. So what we want to do, we want to add some shallots to that. Shallots are a wonderful ingredient. It's a member of the nightshade family. If an onion and garlic had a love child, that would be shallot right there. So I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. It's a little high. Okay. And then we have our garlic right there. Okay. Put in just a scotch of mustard. And that, a scotch, yes, that is the official measurement.
Right. I think we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Just some.
And maybe a scotch and a half of brandy.
Yeah.
So now brandy will flame up on you. So what I always do when I add brandy to a pan is I take it off the heat, add the brandy, and then back on. It will still flambe, so just
What
be
if I
careful.
let you flambe this one?
Sure, I can do that. Okay.
Is that always
Oh.
brandy that's bringing that
Well, it
out?
didn't flambe.
Like when that fire starts up in a restaurant, and you bring your food out. Is it always brandy that's doing
Not
that?
always brandy. Vodka
Okay.
works well.
Yeah.
Bourbon is also really
Yeah.
great.
All right.
So from here,
Now the macaroni. Yeah.
and you can really smell that nice, lovely smell going on. And we're going to add our macaroni. This is about a pint of macaroni, dried macaroni. Then just give that a stir. Make sure that, all of those shallots, the garlic, the brandy, kind of coat all of that pasta.
I'm so excited to try this.
Well, how far away are we from the taste test?
So again, it takes about 22 minutes
Yeah.
to cook that.
Oh, okay. So we're on the it stays in the pan that long,
Yeah.
but it's meant to soak. The macaroni is now soaking up all those things you put together.
Yeah, everything is
flavors
kind
are
of married
meant to be, yeah.
together. Okay. You can also notice that the color on the macaroni is changing a
Yeah, it's
little
getting the
bit.
browner. And,
A little
yeah.
caramelized. So that's what
You're
we're
right.
looking for. Now, what we want to do next, Jason, is add a ladle of that hot stock. Maybe two. Maybe
Okay.
two. And then give that a good stir. Yeah, you can just leave that ladle in there.
Oh, wow.
And as that pasta cooks, it will begin to soak up all of that liquid. So
Yeah.
once it gets almost dry, or as the French call it, au sec, almost dry, then we add another ladle to that and just kind of repeat that process over and over and over until we get to that pasta becomes al dente
Yeah.
or to the tooth.
Right. Is there ever a reason not to just keep stirring so it doesn't get too hot? I mean, is it?
So when we
Sure.
make risotto, we continually stir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one of those dishes that requires a
Have
lot
to
of
do that.
attention
Yeah.
to it. Back in the day when I was working in the restaurants, we did risotto to order.
Yeah.
So I might have 20 different risottos coming in at all different times.
Yeah.
And I would have my
You have all those pans
entire
going, right?
pans going.
Keeping track of it.
And
in your
keeping
mind.
track
Yeah.
of who is who.
Yeah.
Cooking professionally takes a lot of organization
Yeah.
and mind.
Yeah, it's one thing to be like at home, right? But
Right.
like, 'cause at home you can tell people, well, you'll just have to wait. But in a restaurant, you're trying to time all those foods down to be hot and cold as they should be at
Yeah,
the same time.
so
It's a timing effort, really.
Say if I'm working on the stovetop and
Yeah.
I have 3 dishes that go to a table, well, the grill cook might have 3 or 4 dishes, and I've got to coordinate
Yeah, you
with
gotta-
that grill cook to
Yeah.
make sure that everything comes up all at the same time.
Yeah.
So
All that's being done verbally, I guess, out
Oh, yeah.
loud. There's yelling things back and forth.
okay,
Yeah.
so we could probably add another ladle.
Okay.
You can see, a lot of that liquid has been absorbed. You can also see that liquid is starting to thicken up as well. And that's that starch in that pasta helping to thicken this.
So where did you have those 20 pans of risotto going? Where were you working at the time?
At that time, I was working at Cynthia's downtown,
Okay.
Paducah.
Yeah.
Good time.
if I may ask you, Chef, what's your favorite dish to cook?
So my favorite dish to cook, it's an Italian dish. It's called ossobuco.
Oh yeah.
It is a braised veal shank, or the leg of a calf. Cook that down with tomatoes, with onions, with garlic, white wine. Cook it for hours and hours until it's fork tender.
Right.
And then served with what we call a risotto Milanese, which is a risotto with saffron in it.
Wow. You need to be over here, Jason.
You can smell it
my
probably. I can smell it for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just fun to cook, isn't it? Does anybody just not like? I guess there are people that don't like to cook, but even maybe when they're left alone, they don't want to admit it at home, they start cooking.
Well, yeah, you know, in cooking and food is one of those things that doesn't matter what our political
Doesn't matter.
affiliation or religious
Everybody's
affiliation.
gotta eat.
Everybody eats, and everybody
Yeah.
enjoys
Yeah.
food.
Uh-huh.
It's the one thing that really kind of brings us all together.
Yeah, and easy to
or
talk about.
brings us to the table, as it were. Okay, we can add another ladle. For this amount, for about 2 cups of pasta, we're going to be looking at about 6 cups of stock that'll go in there. So we're just going to keep on cooking that until that pasta is ready.
I think we'll take another break then. I think that'd be a good time to have a break, and we'll come back when we wrap up this mac and cheese. Okay, now we're getting ready to wrap up this mac and cheese, Chef. Let's wrap it up.
So, you know, right now it just doesn't look that much like macaroni and cheese, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to add a little butter to that. We've got a little bit of cream that we're going to add. About a cup or so.
And then,
Give that a good stir. And what I do want to do
oh, I thought you were getting
is
to
go
the
ahead
cheese. Yeah.
and season
Salt it up.
a little salt, a little pepper. We're going to turn it up just a little bit more, Jason. So we're going to go ahead and add our cheese.
Now, what kind of cheese you got there?
So this is our Havarti. And add about half of that in there.
Havarti's got a flavor like what? Is it?
It's
Is it a sharp
really
cheese?
buttery,
Buttery.
kind of creamy, smooth flavor. Our white cheddar is going to have a lot of sharpness
Okay.
to it. So there's going to be a really nice contrast.
There you go again.
going
Contrasting
on.
those cheeses, yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, you know,
It's-
you can even see the trails of the cheese.
Yeah, it's getting
going
thicker
on.
and
It's starting to
cheesier.
look like
Mac
macaroni
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. So while he's doing that, I think what we can do is maybe just make a little bit of vinaigrette for our greens.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got our arugula right here. And we're just going to do a very simple vinaigrette.
Okay.
We have a little bit of fresh lemon juice. Add some extra virgin olive oil to that.
Is that a gallon of extra virgin olive oil?
It's a liter.
Liter. Okay.
Yeah. That's what we buy in the restaurant
Yeah.
industry.
Comes
Yeah.
those metal cans.
A little salt,
Yeah.
a little pepper. Okay.
Now,
And if
what's
you
wrong with just
would-
ground up pepper? Why can't I just buy ground up pepper?
Spices
Flavor
like
again?
peppercorns,
Yeah.
they will lose their flavor over time.
Right.
So it's always better to actually buy whole and grind as you need.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's that.
So we have a nice kind of simple vinaigrette. We're going to just pour that over our greens. Let me grab a glove here real quick. Let's make sure we're sanitary
Yeah,
here.
you don't want a handful of vinaigrettes. All right. We're not putting the mac and cheese on top of this. We are putting it on top of it. But right on top of it. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll come over here. A little bit goes on the plate. So remember, Jason, people eat with their eyes first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
You want to see different colors, too. Just actual
we want to
color
see
spectrum,
different colors. So
All
then we
right.
have our tomatoes.
Mhm.
And we're just going to put some of these nice tomatoes on. I like that.
How's it going over here, Jason?
Oh, it is going
Starting to-
amazing.
Yeah.
Thickening up a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty cheesy. Pretty yellow there. Yeah,
It's pretty cheesy.
that's cheesy. Well, it is mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Glad I came with an empty stomach.
Being very particular about its placement. There we go.
Okay.
How's that?
All right. How are we looking here? Here, let me see once. Okay, so we just want this cream just to reduce just a little bit more. Turn it up just a little bit.
Is this what you were expecting, Jason, as you came to do this mac and cheese lesson?
It was not. I
Yeah.
had no idea what Chef Erik was going to do.
Yeah.
But this has taken mac and cheese to a whole new level.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a family favorite or one of your personal favorites. But yeah, this is kind of interesting to see the chef's take on it. He's gonna ladle it out, I think.
So I think that's got it. Has a really nice velvety texture to it. You know, sometimes with, like a baked macaroni and cheese, we often, it gets a little dry.
Yeah.
And then doing it this way, gives you a really, really lovely, velvety, smooth texture to it. And, we've got color, we've got, different flavors, and this is our
Got some
ham,
Yeah.
right here. So now we even have a
Oh,
little
boy.
change in texture as well.
Yeah. And dimensions. You went vertical
Yes.
with the ham. It's a little chip.
Little ham chips. Salty goodness. Okay.
Let's try it. We got a fork. You got it's
few more
still not
things.
done. Now you're gonna
Still
add.
not done. I've got a little breadcrumb
Okay.
right here. And let's get a little flat leaf parsley.
Oh boy, I thought that
I'm
was
just
just there
gonna
for
pull-
decoration. Yeah.
Just a
This
little
is
garnish.
just art to you, isn't it?
It really is.
That's beautiful.
Again, we always think or eat with our eyes
Sure.
first.
Yeah.
So visual is just as important as
I
our
think
as
you're
our
gonna
other
say
senses.
it's just as important as the taste. I have to disagree. I don't think it is.
Oh,
So I'm just gonna ladle this right out into my mouth here.
that smells delicious.
All right.
All right, Jason.
This part. Okay. Is it hot?
It is.
It's gonna burn me. It's a little hot, right?
I hope not.
No, it's good. It's like you said, it's savory. You can tell all the things that you added in, to make it creamy. It's really good. You have to get your own fork though.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, we can't.
I've got forks right over here.
Yeah. Give him a try. Try that up.
Oh man,
You can't cut mac and cheese.
just got to dive in.
Yeah,
huh?
dive in. That tasting moment. Well, thanks for picking this topic anyway. You did some good stirring, you did some tomatoes, but
Good.
it gave you like something to think about at home now.
Yeah, a whole new dish to do at home, and Chef, I'm doing it at home, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Wonderful.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chef Erik, Jason Willoughby, and we'll see you next time.